Hello, everyone, and welcome to Astrology with Jeffrey Bryan. Today, this video is going to be about the astrology signs, symbols, the modes, and the keywords for all 12 signs of the zodiac. So let me share the screen. All right, here we go. The first sign is Aries, the ram, and the dates for Aries are March 21st through April 19th. And the glyph is the sign of a ram. It's like two hooks coming down like the horns. The planetary ruler is Mars. The element is fire. The mode is cardinal. Each sign is either cardinal, fixed, or mutable. So cardinal is like a startup kind of an energy moving forward. And this is in fire. So it's cardinal fire sign. The polarity is masculine. So either a sign is masculine or feminine. And since we're talking about the first sign of the zodiac, it's starting with masculine, cardinal fire. And Mars energy is more like warrior, fighting, um, to get things done, initiating sign. And the key word is I am. I am means I am alive. You're born into the first sign of the zodiac. So in the astrology wheel, the first sign would be Aries, and that means that the person exists in this situation. And it also rules the head. So every sign of the zodiac rules a different body part. And so we're starting with the first part, the head, and we're going to go all the way down the body through the signs to Pisces, the feet. The key words for Aries are action, impulse to attack or strike back. These people are courageous and fearless. They're usually respected leaders. They have a propensity to take risks. They love challenges. And these people fight their way through life. And they're very bright, commanding, remarkable, authoritative. And these people want to be in charge of their own affairs. Next sign is Taurus, the bull. The dates for Taurus are April 20th through May 20th. And as we see here, the sign is a circle with horns representing the bull. So that is the glyph, the horns on top of the circle. The planetary ruler is Venus. The element is earth. The mode is fixed. The polarity is feminine. The key word for Taurus is I want. And this sign rules the neck, the throat, and the voice. The keywords for Taurus people are strength, power. They're immovable. So this is a fixed earth sign. So think about how hard it is to dig a hole or move the ground. That's their stance on a lot of things in life. They're difficult. They hold a they're not difficult, but they hold a position and they don't budge or they don't sway easily. They're just steady with what they're doing. They have a very mellow energy. Remember, this sign is ruled by Venus. So that's the sign of beauty, attraction, love. So they have a very wonderful energy. Like I said, they refuse to shift and they can be unchangeable in their views or their beliefs because of that fixed earth. They're very good-natured people, earthy. They're connected to gaining possessions and acquiring resources. They're semi-vocal in nature, but inclined to say nothing at times. And these people do not respond to anger lightly. They do not like to someone to attack them or piss them off or anything like that. The next sign is Gemini, the twins. The birthdays for the Gemini sign is May 21st through June 20th. And here we see the sign is that of the Roman numeral 2, which represents the twins. And that is the glyph. The planetary ruler is Mercury. So Mercury has to do with the mind and the intellect. The element is air. The mode is mutable, and the polarity is again masculine. So we see here the element's air and it's mutable. So, and that we're dealing with the intellect. So these people have the ability to think thoughts like on fast forward. They don't get attached to any idea or belief or job. A lot of times they just move from one thing to the next because nothing sticks to a mutable air sign. The polarity is masculine, I said. The key word is I think, which comes back to the Mercury. These people are thinkers. And the body part that rules this is the head, oh, excuse me, the shoulders, the arms, and two hands, two lungs, the two hemispheres of the brain, and the nervous system. So if you think about this, we create through our hands in the world. And so that's where this comes down through the hands with the Mercury ruling this sign is we take our ideas and we put them into form through the hands. The key words for Gemini are communication. These people see both sides to a situation and they ensure the experience of both extremes. What does that mean? Well, these people can argue any side to a situation. So even if it's not their position to believe it, they will they like to argue it no matter what. So you may be in agreement with them, but they will still take the position of an art to take the other position to maybe teach a lesson or get people thinking. Whatever reason they see things this way. And that can seem illogical to people. So that's why the next keyword is illogical. Isolation, dark broodings, alienation, possessing great strength, ingenuity and logic, polarization of spiritual and material. So this has to do with the twins. Some people think it can be like two personalities, but in a spiritual sense, they have one foot in the material world and another in the spiritual domain. And the air with the intellect rules intuition, and so they can come and they can bring down truths from a higher knowledge and follow that or teach it, give that knowledge out. They're very well spoken, they're very curious, and they love to explore. They're trivial and they can be superficial. I've found that some Geminis that don't hold the polarization of the material and spiritual, and they get caught up in the physical too much, can hold that superficial part of Gemini, and they love freedom. Here we go again with the mutable air. It's all about freedom, non-attachment. So they can be slaves to their own need for freedom. We can see that in jobs, relationships, where they'll just bail real fast without a second thought. Cancer, the crab, is June 21st through July 22nd. And the symbol is like a 6 and a 9 sideways. And that's the glyph, the sideways 6-9. The planetary ruler is the moon. The element is water and the mode is cardinal. So here we have a sign that's very emotional, pretty much really likes home life. They're feeling based. They can go through certain moods because of that emotional water with the moon. The polarity is feminine, and the key word is I feel. So a crab, when it's attacked, actually retracts in its own shell to hide. And so we'll see that with cancers is if they're being attacked, they'll like withdraw into their own shell or into their own home, maybe not come out too much unless they're comfortable with who they're around. Um, and this sign rules the stomach and the breasts. Keywords for Cancer are they are very receptive and emotional, oftentimes psychic. They can be moody. They can be up one day and down the next because of the moods that the motion. I've always look at this sign like the waves. Are they mellow? Are they smooth? or is it real choppy? That's how I like to view water. So this is a cardinal water. They can have a phlegmatic humor. Sometimes they can be unrational or unreasonable in their behavior, oftentimes based on their emotional natures. Again, they have a soft shell protecting the soft and vulnerable nature. They are not comfortable in the center of attention, although they're very good natured people and they can be changeable, usually not vocal. They love people in positions of honor, and they do love being part of the crowd. So they like comfortability. They like being part of the crowd, just not the focus of attention. Next sign is Leo the Lion. The dates are July 23rd through August 22nd. And here we have a circle with like a loop and a tail. Kind of looks like a lion. And that would be the glyph, the circle with the tail. And the planetary ruler is the sun. The sun feeds all life. So this is a sign that likes to shine. It wants to be in the center of attention. It wants to be a leader. So we have the element of fire, fixed. The mode is fixed. So we have fixed, fire, and we have the sun. So these people are constantly outgoing, doing things, and they just love life. They want to feed people with their energy. They want everyone to come along and be with them and do things to have fun or things of enjoyment. And the polarity is masculine. Again, we have the lion, so we see masculinity in this fire sign. And the key word is I will. So these people are very gung-ho to do things. I will manifest. I will create the life I want. I can't be told what I can and cannot do. I will do it. And this sign rules the heart, chest, upper back, and the brain. And the keywords for Leos are they're very courageous. They have this invincible attitude, and they have the ability to rise above ordinary limits, and they can push things to extremes that a lot of other signs cannot. They hold power and command. They love to be the royal center of activity. They have areas as their kingdom, as a place where they shine. So an example of this kingdom where they shine could be like a sport, like say martial arts. They've got the dojo where they have their friends and groups, and they really shine as like the athlete. That's where their lair would be, their den, where they just really excel. They're very freedom loving and giving. They can have a fiery temperament. They're natural leaders. They do have this easygoing flair that's very attractive to a lot of people. They're good natured. They're just nice, get along with everyone, good hearted. They can be puffed up by their own ideas, and they really fawn over superiors, or hate to fawn over their superiors. So like a boss, they may want to be the boss, or maybe there's somebody in the group that is seeming to be the leader. They want to be the leader, so they may break off to become their own leader or something like that. The next sign is Virgo, the Virgin. The dates are August 23rd to September 22nd. And here we have the sign, the symbol. It's like an M with an extra like round symbol attached to the end of it. And that is the glyph, the sign that you would see on a chart. The planetary ruler is Mercury. Element is Earth. The mode is mutable. The polarity is feminine. And the key word is I analyze. And this rules the lower intestine. So back in Gemini, we had Mercury as the ruler, but it was in air sign. Now we have Mercury again, and it's in mutable Earth. So we have a difference here. How can we tell the difference? Well, Mercury in Gemini was in air, mutable air. So it was this very non-controlled like thought process. It doesn't really care about it cares about truth, but it doesn't care if there's like a process to get to a result. They really just care about like a philosophy, ideas, and different different ideas. It's all about ideas. And the Mercury and Earth here in Virgo, they really like grounded, practical, like methods. So they want a process that's like a scientific process, for instance, or a linear line of how to get somewhere. So they're very that's the big difference is one's more of the intellect, not needing a process or a scientific proof. So if we talked about like the spiritual realm, Gemini typically wouldn't need scientific proof or say like a book like the Bible or text. They could believe that without all this documentation or evidence. Um, Whereas the Virgo, they like that process, the facts, and things of that nature. Keywords for Virgo are they're productive, they produce creativity and practicality of the earth element. They're stimulated by intellectual ingenuity. They're sympathetic and sensitive. They have the ability to hold sentiment in check. So that means they have this ability where they may not um, like cry at a certain moment, or they may not get mad. They can hold this in check to get like the job done or whatever situation they're in. They have that ability to use the mind to control that. So that's control over passions as well. They get satisfaction in doing things correctly. That is huge for a Virgo. They love things done right. They are the type who can feel free and also be in a position of service. Yes, this is a service-oriented sign. And in the chart, this Virgo house rules work in service. They're conventional. They can be mysterious. They can be vocal and silent at times. They're often unaccomplished. This is nothing bad about being unaccomplished, but we're talking about like their service work type. So not like usually striving to be the most rich or a business tycoon. They like to serve their fellow man. And they do love handicrafts. I should say making handicrafts. The next sign is Libra, the scales. The symbol here looks like a kind of like a scale. It's a line with a circle above it. And the dates are September 23rd through October 22nd. We just went over the glyph. The planetary ruler is Venus. The element is air. The mode is cardinal. And here we have Venus now in the polarity of masculinity, which when we were back in Taurus, it was in fixed earth. Now we're in cardinal air. So Venus is taking on a different quality here than it does in Taurus, where it liked material things, it liked to look nice and those things. And this sign, Venus, does like to look beautiful, but it's all about the air, this Venusian quality with sociability, with likes, family and friends and social gatherings and expressing itself. That's how it expresses its beauty with being around other people. And the key word is I balance. We'll get to that in a minute. And this sign rules the lower back and the kidneys. The key words are these people can be very diplomatic and charming. They have very artistic tastes. This also goes with fashion, decorating their home or other people's homes, or artistic taste can be art, creating something or whatever. These people present themselves to others attractively. Yes, they love to look nice and feel good. Relationships and recognition of responsibilities to others is their main focus. It dictates their feeling and propels their actions. So the Libra is all about relationships with others. And um, so the next part is the soul weighed against the feather. So with the relationships and things, oftentimes they're weighing these things out, or they're using judgment or discrimination, what's of most importance to them and how they go about their time. If they're a Libra that um, like works a full-time job and has a family and friends and children, they are having to weigh out what's the most important, and it usually comes down to their own family, maybe before like a friendship, because of this discerning judgment that they really have. But they don't mean any harm in that. That's just how it is. And they measure themselves in comparison to others. So that's another part where the judgmental is. Um, maybe they're looking at someone and that maybe looks more beautiful or has a little bit more money than them, and or a nice car. This is this judgmental comparison that we can see with a Libra. And they can compromise in order to maintain peace and harmony. The next sign is Scorpio, the scorpion. And the dates for the birth of Scorpio are October 23rd through November 21st. And here we have the sign of an M with the scorpion tail of an arrow at the end. The planetary rulers are Mars and Pluto. So here we reach the first co-ruled planets of a sign. The element is water. The mode is fixed. This is a feminine sign. And the key word is I desire. The organs this sign rules are the reproductive organs and the bowels. Keywords are they hold their power in reserve. They're capable of destruction and intimidation. They're usually not vocal. They can be dark and defensive, treacherous. They can get oppressed by a great amount of work, and they can and oftentimes will overpower people. And they can abandon and betray people. So with the Scorpio, I need to clarify, because this can look like one of the darkest or worst signs when you see the slide here. But the Scorpio has an eagle head and it has the scorpion stinger tail. So which side of the spectrum are you as a Scorpio, or as the person you're thinking about? They could, when are they going to strike? When are they going to attack? Do they keep this in check? Or, how do they go about their life usually? I've met some Scorpios that were the most lovely people in the world. And then other times I've come across them that they use that stinger, and they love secrets. This is the house of secrets with Pluto. Pluto's the underneath, underground. It's that's the god of hell, or Hades. Pluto is. So we have that investigative, undercover, secret information nature of Scorpio with the Mars Pluto. And Mars is action, and Pluto is divine action, or we could say Mars is will and Pluto is divine will. They've got the combination of these in play in this sign. And Pluto is also evolution. So this is like an evolutionary sign on wherever Pluto is in their chart. What are they trying to evolve and understand? It's in water. So this is a sign that's trying to really understand the darker side of their emotional nature, even sexual nature. They may have kind of a secret sexual attraction or desire in many cases. So they're also very emotional. They can cry watching like a commercial on TV or seeing a beautiful sunset. They have the ability to really have a high emotional nature. And they also despise weaknesses in themselves and others, but are generous and compassionate. Sagittarius, the archer, November 22nd through December 21st. And this is an arrow with a little cross in the middle. So that's the glyph, the arrow with the cross. And the planetary ruler is Jupiter. Jupiter is all about abundance, optimism, joy, bigger and better things. And the element is fire. Mode is mutable. So this is a fire roaring in all directions with the planet Jupiter wanting to expand. So these people have great big visions for the future. They want to have a big life and they don't look back. They just, it's all about, it's like the archer pulling the arrow and setting their aim on a target and then letting go. They're goal oriented. They're gonna go for success in any and all areas of life, even fitness, working out, career, making money, travel, whatever it is. These people are go-getters and adventurous. So we have the polarity is masculine. The key word is I see, and it rules the hips and thighs. So I see, think of the third eye right here. What is the vision for their future? That's what they're seeing. They put it in there and they make it, they manifest it. They have a broad vision, tolerant attitude, they're very freedom loving, philosophical. Jupiter, the ninth house rules philosophy, religion, and higher education. So they're very philosophical. Jovial, happy. They plan for the future and they think about a bigger tomorrow. They tend not to worry about the here and now. Oftentimes they have few children, but that's not necessarily always the case. Every single person's different, but that can be. These people are very fit for leadership. Generous, they think critically, they're good natured. The leadership part, they're like, successful, whatever area they go in. The next sign is Capricorn, the goat. The dates are December 22nd through January 19th. And the sign is like this V with this like rounded edge that comes in back into the sign. It's the most weird sign of the zodiac. And the planetary ruler is Saturn. The element is earth. The mode is cardinal. The polarity is feminine. And the key word is I use. And Capricorn rules the skeleton and the knees. So the goat is the symbol for Capricorn, the animal. And so the goat is the most surest footed of animals. So if you've ever seen one in real life or you've seen pictures on TV, you'll see the goat is like the mountain goat's like on this hill and there's like just teeny tiny areas of land or rock and it can sit there and it can move up this mountain and you're like, how did it even get there? That's a Capricorn. They're patient, they take their time, and they have this like goal to get to the top no matter what. Even if it takes 30 years, they're gonna get there. It's they're determined. And it's Saturn. Saturn is determination. It's if you can conquer Saturn in your chart, it's like the greatest achievement is Saturn. So we have patience, prudence, determination, reliable. They're very, very disciplined. But they do lack creative sparkle and variety. They're so grounded and focused on the physical that the creativity isn't always there unless they have like an aspect in their chart that would show that. They have a ability of mastery over something, even if it takes years. They have the willpower to make the long trek to get to that mastery. They have power. They're often non-vocal. They do worry often. They can be brutal and inappropriate at times, yet they're very inclined towards servitude. They experience cruelty and not see things the same as those around them. And they can be schemers. So they could have friends or a loved one or a boyfriend, girlfriend, or a co-workers and be in the group, but not see things at all as you do. The next sign is Aquarius, the water bearer. And it's often a confusing sign because the symbol looks like water, but it's actually air. So just think when you're looking at it, the sign for Aquarius looks like water. And the dates are January 20th through February 18th. The planetary rulers are Saturn and Uranus. The element is air and the mode is fixed. So here we have a fixed air sign with co-ruling planets of Saturn and Uranus. In modern astrology, we normally just tend to focus on Uranus. Uranus is about enlightenment. It's the awakener, but it can also be shocking. You can be awakened and be in this state of shock. And it's also rules technology and tech, the tech world. And often Uranus people march to the beat of a different drummer, or Aquarians, we could say. They have a different kind of a different style or outlook than most people. They may seem odd or a little bit different, but they're very creative and smart people because Uranus is the enlightened mind, the planetary ruler. So the polarity is masculine. The keyword is I know. And this sign rules the ankles and circulatory system. The key words for Aquarius are these people are independent in matters of the mind and spirit. So this is a very, very freedom-loving sign. They can be rebellious, and this can be because of the freedom-loving as well. They don't want rules or regulations. They can be antisocial. They have different outlooks a lot of times, so that's part of this antisocial behavior and perverseness. They're very eccentric. They can be emotionally unstable. They seek only to cleanse, illuminate, and purify. Remember, this sign's about awakening. They're oriented towards work and the social, political sphere. They're, they may want to be change agents in the political sphere. They may not like what they see in life and want to be the change agents. They can be hateful of their kind, jealous and envious. The last sign of the zodiac is Pisces, the fish, and it's like two moon symbols with a line through. And the dates are February 19th through March 20th. We just went over the glyph. The planetary ruler is Jupiter and Neptune. So a lot of astrologers use Neptune as the planetary ruler and not Jupiter. I always think of the last sign of the zodiac at the 12th house with Neptune is like the highest vibrational frequency planet. It's very hard for people to get in tune with because it's such a high vibration. So this is a sign that's hard, a hard placement for a lot of people because of that higher vibration. So think of source energy. This is the source energy, and Jupiter is the vision, the manifestation. So this is like a sign that's the manifestation of source, of creation, God's creation. So just think high vibrational frequency, and this is in a water sign. So this can be people can have difficulties with their emotions, and it's mutable. The polarity is feminine. The key word is I believe. What do you believe? And this rules the feet. So we started with Aries at the head, went through all the signs, and now we're at the feet, the last sign. Key words for Pisces are freedom from restraint and mundane obligations. See, the Neptune does not want to be restrained, and this is in mutable water. So that's like an unrestrained sign. Denial of earthly shackles. Remember, I said that um, Neptune was the highest vibrational frequency and source. So when we die, we don't have this body. So it's like this freedom of earthly shackles would be almost like freedom of the body. They want to have freedom from earthly things that tie them down, whether it could be a spouse, or it could be a religion, or it could be children, or a husband, or a job. These are things that can hold someone down. They're very creative. They love creativity. They love ideas. They oftentimes have a lot of kids, so many children. But with any sign, nothing holds perfectly true. So that doesn't mean you will have a ton of children if you are a Pisces. And easy conception comes easy. So the children, you can either get someone pregnant, or the baby can come out, or you can get pregnant real easy. They have bolder tendencies. These people have a rounded awareness and instinctive understanding of how gain in one area of life results from loss in another area. So they may gain, for instance, in their job, but it takes them away from maybe having time with their family. Or maybe they have children that have baseball games, and and after work, and that takes away from maybe their free time. So they have this big awareness of all of this. They're usually non-vocal. These people transform evil into good. So maybe sometimes they're even preachers, religious, teachers, or spiritual teachers even. And they're part of the crowd. They like being part of the crowd, and they're servile in nature. So this is a service position. Sometimes we see a lot of massage therapists or energy healers that are Pisces as well. All right, if you'd like to book a personalized astrology reading with me, go to astrologywithjeffreybryan.com. And if you like my video, please like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell.